Today is the day that 8 teams will be advancing to the final stage of the PEL Contenders and joining with the other 8 teams from Group A. But that also means that 8 will fail. They will fall down and they will not be able to go anywhere further within this Contenders. It's a crunch time for a lot of teams, and when we look at the standings in a second, we will see exactly where all these teams add up and how close it really is. As always, myself, James Banks, joined by Cormac, Mr. Imperium, are here to deliver you all the action. Now, yesterday, Cormac, it was the best day so far for me. Okay, I'm only in my first week here, right? I've been away for a little bit. But that was ludicrous. We saw just so many aggressive plays, a lot of confidence plays, teams like Tempest coming out, and it didn't matter what was going on, people just being annihilated in front of them. MOOPHEUS continuing on just the Sanhok frenzy of, we just want to be the best team on Sanhok by the looks of it. When other teams were saying they don't want to practice it, they didn't like it being added, these guys stepped up and said, well, we'll take advantage of that. Yeah,
we saw a Miramar game that was just action-packed right from the start, right from the word go. We talked about Miramar tends to be kind of quiet for the first 10 minutes or so. But it's like when you look at the overall standings, this is it in front of you. At the end of the day, you look at,
well, this is Group, I'll say, this is Group A, so this shows us at least the 8 teams that are already there, right? So from Tornado down to Inside Games, those teams are ready and waiting before we go. And what they're doing is looking at everything probably from this group, because they want to be seeing who they're facing, where these teams are dropping. Start your research early, see if you can take anything to say, okay, look, I might want to fight this team here, for example. But this is the interesting point. So Team Unique down to 4 Kings. It's not impossible, but it would take more than they've ever delivered so far across all of the other games we've had. But for Brute Force, all the way realistically to, I'd say, Red Foxes at this point, right?
10 points.
They can just jump up, things can change. BetterLuckNxTime still need to be careful, but realistically, Tempest, Northern Lights, and Airstation, they should be safe within the top 8. It's going to be such an action-packed game.
It is, and even when you look at Istanbul Wildcats and PG18, they're on the exact same points. They're in the same points, and that's 8th place and 9th place. Never mind the fact that, as we pointed out, 10 points divide 6th place and 12th place. The team that I do kind of fear in the bottom 8, or in the lower half, is PG18. The reason why is because 5 of their 28 games so far have been 0-point games. They've had the highest amount of 0-point games out of the 6 teams that are kind of fighting for the top 8. So I do worry about them in particular.
And they started off so strong with that win on Erangel yesterday, and it was a 10-kill, 10-point game to 20 in total for them. And this takes us on to these placement points as always. First place to 10, all the way down to 8th, but you will only walk away with 1, and then 1 kill equals 1 point. Hence why the kills have been coming in flurrying just from teams like Airstation, Mike, and Tempest in order to get the job done, not just in their placements. Remember, these guys, Tempest, started winning, but Airstation, Mike, we haven't seen them win realistically this week. What, once, mate? Was it 1 win ahead?
Yeah, I think they've only had 1 win this week. It was no, they haven't actually had any chicken dinners this week. They've all come from the first week of Group B, but they've been consistent with their results and their points, and of course they've kept on top of that mountain. And the likes of Northern Lights, they've had some inconsistent performances. So it's kept them on top.
But that goes to show what we were talking about then perfectly, because Airstation, Mike, I thought they even had a win because of how many points they've been grabbing. They haven't had a win, and they're still outshining so many other teams like that. Northern Lights just dropped a few games, and Airstation Mike skyrocketed past them and then didn't look back.
And you're talking about skyrocketing. Let's talk about Tempest. They started the week in 13th.
Yep.
And they've jumped up to 3rd. They've had 118 points already this week. They've been on top. They've been aggressive. Clib, who's jumped on top of the kill leaderboard with 42 kills, joining with Hugstar. That's just dominating performance. It's working together. That synergy really starting to shine through.
Yeah.
Man, they're just racking through the teams.
And Clib yesterday was a superstar standout player. Even on the Sanhok game where they went out earlier than what they would have wanted to. They had level 3 gear. They'd taken a long rotation over. They had to then fight many of the teams down from the south. And they played. And what I loved about what they did on Sanhok was the way they surprised everyone else. Because what they did was move from their initial starting point. The circle went far out towards the west. And rather than take the bridges where many teams are camping or other teams are still rotating across, they opted for, all right, let's go down to the boats. And it was closer for them. They went to the boats, went through the water, managed to get over. And then that's when they started doing serious damage. And there was the 2 crates that were dropped down. So there was 1 just on the island and 1 in the water. And after that, it was like, cool, we got everything we need now.
It's also the fact that they lined themselves in a position, and I reckon that this kind of comes from a bit of research. They lined themselves in a position where they were able to face teams that were at the least risk of being third-party. So, you know, Sandhog, you go into a two-team fight, next thing another team shows up and they take you out. Tempest, nope, they were just one squad after one squad. Yeah. And also, at the end of the day, when we look at who took them out, which was the MOOPHEUS, you know, they're the team that won. They've won every single one of their games in Sandhawk. So to be honest, to go down to the MOOPHEUS, Team MOOPHEUS, it's kind of like, hey, look, you know what? It's not surprising.
And we're not against stuff like that happening, right? Yeah. Because we said it before, is team fights really early on can cause you a world of problems when you lose a player or so. Yeah. But what they did was, like you said, manage to take down one team at a time. But even then, when they got that far, there's only so much you can do because the armor starts getting damaged, the helmets are then taken off, and then you also start to run out of actual utility to use. So it gets progressively harder when you're battling from the very beginning. Remember, they killed off the first team where Clib did the double barrel nades and then just tap, tap, tap and just ruined everyone. Beautiful. And then his teammate came to help him out, did the damage, and then let Clib just pick it up. I'm like, you can have the team wipe, Clib. You can be the superstar for today. And that's how it all went down.
It's just absolutely mental now. Another team I do also want to touch on is ELGIGANTEN.
Yeah, definitely.
They're far from the bottom top 8. Of course, they're within points, but they haven't had a chicken dinner. They haven't had that top spot. They haven't had that performance that have shown the likes of me and you and kind of go, hey, look, they can get the job done. I do worry that 4 games, 4 more chances, are they going to be able to get those magical points?
And what scares me of what you were just saying there is that we saw ELGIGANTEN yesterday, went into that team fight, they had the advantage. We saw bad communication, one player running into the house, the other one holding back, team nades coming in and things like that. And yes, it's not the end of the world, it can happen, but when you're getting down to these final games, now we're on the final 4, yesterday was the final 8, and that was the start of it all, I was thinking, oh man, like where are you going from here? Because it also takes a confidence knock. When you have these little errors, they're not going to quarrel, obviously. Well, they shouldn't quarrel. I can't say if they have or not, but they ideally shouldn't be quarreling if something like that happens. They should be able to say, okay, cool, let's reset ourselves. But when you're under this high pressure and you know that this could be the difference between qualifying and not qualifying, your mindset starts to change a little bit. And that's where the true dedicated professionals, right, who are not just training in-game, but also training their mindset to it as well, is the ones that will be able to keep themselves focused for pressure games like this.
Exactly. And I know from doing various other things, not directly within esports, from a competitive setting, but that mentality, that mindset of being able to just, whether it's even between a game or even between a day, of just kind of going, hey, that was that. Let's go into this game. New opportunities, new chances to take on those squad fights, to work together where you go, hey, look, we did it. In that split second, you go, hey, look, we did it wrong in the last game. Let's do it right this time. You do it right. You get that squad fight. Next thing you know, hey, look, we can get it done. But as I said, without that chicken dinner, without that golden top spot, can they get it done?
It's going to take a lot of work from today. I want to see it go down, but I also want to see if we're going to get any of that crazy hot dropping. We've spoke about this before. We've seen it in the main PUBG Europe League. Contenders has not shown us hot dropping just yet. No. We've seen like a couple of jump on near each other or around each other, but that's just like fighting for a bit of territory at the time. I want to see if some of these teams thinking, okay, well, we want to stop getting points. Let's get there, take their spot, loot as quick as we can, and then just take the fight to them. That's how you're going to hinder some of these teams that you are fighting against. Because otherwise, it's just this whole guessing game. Who's going to have a good game? Who's going to have a bad game? We're seeing the back and forth the whole time round.
Well, we are getting into Erangel. It's only one Erangel game today. We've got one Erangel, 2 Miramar, then ending on a Sandhawk. We talked about it before the broadcast. We want to see some more action-packed gameplay. We want to see a repeat of yesterday. And that playing trajectory to begin with, that's not a bad start. Very central, going down from the southwest, ending up in the northeast. Stall bar will be accessible if you do want to go there, just in a safe position. But we'll see these teams generally head usually where they want to. Team Unique heading down to military base. You have 4 Kings in around Primorsk. And then, of course, you'll see the likes of PG-18 heading up and heading towards George Paul.
And what I want to see here, where we've got 4 Kings jumping straight into Primorsk, I hope that they'll be able to react very quickly to where this new circle pops, because they'll be able to loot faster than anyone. Look how many, basically every other team is in the air at the moment, other than them. You've got obviously no tag team getting in vehicles, but that's a longer rotation for them. So 4 Kings can loot through Primorsk, and if they want to, go for a center circle, get themselves in a really nice position, and try and turn things around when it comes to this opening game here today. Now, huge potential, going to have Kameshki and Stalber. Jokers, as always, will get Severny, which is no problem. Not going to have a Georgia Pole team, though, this time around. That was normally ELGIGANTEN, and they look to be going over towards near Mansion and Lipovka, because Yaznaya is going to be completely occupied by Brute Force. Oh, and that circle goes super north. And we have what? That's probably about 35-40% of water. I was trying to gauge roughly what it would be.
Between the river and the sea, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing with the river cutting it as well. You look and you think, okay, most of that circle's up in the north side, so you're probably going to aim to try and rotate into the north. But you know it can happen, especially on this next phase. You can just quickly jump back down south and be a really southern circle and completely change things up for these teams.
So you were talking about kind of Four Kings. They would have been the first to have landed. They would have essentially had a head start with the loot. Do they take advantage of that by looting up a little bit, even a little bit quicker, making their way into the center of the circle earlier because they have a longer way to travel? And they also have easy access because of the trajectory. There's nobody in around George Pole, so they can just head up the west coast and enter in from the west side of the circle.
Clib is using one of my favorite weapons, by the way, the VSS. He's got his teammates come back him up. They're going to sit in the car. But look at Clib tap away. He's going to waste a lot of bullets here. 14 left in the chamber. He's done a bit of damage, but they should be able to escape from that. So not the end of the world. But what you were saying there on Four Kings, just to come back to what we had on our screens. For me, if Four Kings do want to go for the center circle, remember, they are probably not going to qualify. They're in a pretty rough spot. They're within these last four teams at the moment. So for them, it's now about, okay, let's do as good as we can, use it as additional pro-level practice, make the most of it. But also, if they start to do well in any situation, they're messing up other games. Yeah. They could literally go and wipe a team like ELGIGANTEN out, and ELGIG will sit there and go, well, what do we do from here? Because like that can easily happen. Because you never know who you're engaging at first. It
is so true. Because they've got nothing to lose as well, we could see them, look to kick things up a gear and test themselves in these strong engagements, maybe breach a compound that they know a team is in and just go full send it from that point of view. Because, as I said, they've got nothing to lose. But we look at MJ-Esports in the previous games in Erangel yesterday. They went up against, I believe it was Northern Lights on both games, and they traded blows in each game. But this game, today, they've avoided each other and are all looking to make their way into the circle. What is also surprising is that all the teams that are making their way up to the northern side of the circle, they're going quite central. No team is really kind of hard rotating to begin with, yet they're still also kind of avoiding each other in a lot of ways. So I think there's some mutual respect coming out from these players because it's the last four games and every single point is going to count.
And they'll come into a factor as well where if some teams realise they're being shot at by a team that's close to them, might see them try and force their way to die in the play zone rather than giving up kill points. There's many factors that will come into it going into these last four games for Group B here. There's MOOPHEUS, we're going to look at them. They're already starting their rotation. Just going to go past Jazza and work their way up north. But at the moment, we've got Jokers, MJ, Northern Lights, and MOOPHEUS now, all aiming for pretty much the same spots. And Brute Force, two of their players have got over there, but two still in Jazza. So they're in a split for now.
Now, of course, you can check out the dedicated map stream yourself if you do want to, boys and girls. And you're not aware, just go !map in Twitch chat. And a link will pop up, have it in a separate tab. But starting to kick things off a gear with the kills. That is OK Bro. Taking down Jazza from Airstation Mike straight away.
Ooh dear. Airstation Mike there, not going to be stopping anytime soon. Interesting stuff coming out from them already. They're showing that aggression, they're showing that hunger, and, well, OK Bro, you're probably going to get run over. One of them's going to hit you. Oh, they knocked you. Oh dear.
They'll confirm that.
Yeah, Fake will just go in and deal with it. Hugstar's just going to shoot through the smoke. No one's going to be able to save OK Bro either way.
This is first and second overall in the standings. Both teams have essentially qualified, so, no real great loss. But did see one member of Brute Force knocked down. The revive has come through. Stratus from MJ. As I said, we know MJ like to do a little bit of a split, but they are kind of overall all together. Juno will pick up Stratus in that vehicle with those smokes protecting him. That's nice save coming. Well, actually, will it be a save? A lot of help.
Oh, a headshot.
Nope, Juno gets connected.
He's out in the
Stratus
open.
will change into the driver's position. Will it blow up? Will the car explode? It's on fire. That's going to come out. Stratus is taken out, and Juno was knocked down, so that's most likely going to be 2 kills for Brute Force.
And a very small thing to note there from Brute Force. They all actively shot it as a team.
Yes.
Sometimes you see it where one might do it and two jump in, the rest continue what they were doing. That was everyone within that compound saying, okay, yes, let's light them up. Let's make this work. And that's how you do get those kills like that. And that was just 2 very easy points. It's not easy to hit the shots, but easy to make that mark in front of you because you weren't even being challenged. No one was firing back at you.
And I know it's early days, but that already puts them ahead of no tag team in the leaderboard. Just because it's so close, so I'm kind of.
Are you going to be doing like mathematics next to me here, trying to work all of this out, mate? Because you're going to be here for a long time. I'll just be solo commentating.
I should have brought my calculator.
Yeah. You need multiple calculators, 1 per team. Okay, PUBG, StarLadder, can we get 16 calculators, please? We're trying to work all of this out.
Oh man, yeah, I'm just going to try and keep an eye on it at least, but these teams, as I said, they're kind of rotating in. Only No Tag Team, BetterLuckNxTime, Unique, and Red Foxes are outside of the circle. And here's the thing, like, 4 Kings, they're actually outside of the circle. They are outside of it.
Yeah, 4 Kings aren't in a bad spot. They can work with that. Fair few teams opting to go through Georgia Pole, though. Huge potential, who were landing towards Kameshki and Stalba. They've been grouped up around many other teams now, including ELGIGANTEN, Tempers, MOOPHEUS, the rest of the MJ-Esports squad, and Jokers. And everyone's got dead center for this one. And I know why, because after this circle, it has to force away from water. So we'll go to a pretty much where we're looking at on the map now. But it all depends on where this next circle is going to pop. And the second one is going to be very interesting.
Now, I know it's most likely going to go, of course, it's going to go away from the coastal line, but I still like ELGIGANTEN's position. The reason why is because they don't have to worry about any team behind them because it's only water.
Yes.
So they only have to look ahead. And considering the position they're in, all the points that they need, where even though normally placement points aren't, the most important thing, where kill points tends to be the dominating factor, as I said, getting that chicken dinner, it's going to help them with their confidence. So they will be playing a little bit safer than what we've seen previously.
ASM still playing on the hunt here. I love that as well. They were protecting their teammate getting up to the bridge, making sure that part was clear in case anyone could be camping it. Because remember, it is within the circle. That's a spot teams might want to try and put themselves around. And I really like that. I don't know if that was on purpose. I don't know, maybe they were just doing something else in the meantime. But it looked a bit calculated there. And that's just another small step you can take to ensure you don't go down early. And remember, surprisingly, Airstation Mike yesterday had a 15th place. And we didn't expect that. It was unlikely for them because they'd had so many consistent 5th places come in. Well, around 5th, top 6, kind of that area.
They actually had their worst day yesterday, only scoring 22 points.
If that's my worst day, mate, I'm living the dream. I'll take that. That's not bad.
Say that. You're going to say that.
And you know what? Look where the circle goes. Water still included. This is what I said. They've all gambled it and got in the circle. This is fine. But had any of those teams decided, okay, we'll just stick around Rosako's school and things like that, then they'd be playing the catch-up. They'd be playing the chasing game right now. Oh, Wookie Bookie was taking some damage there. It's actually huge potential. It's going to go try and engage with him. Maids are being thrown out already. And he got the vehicle, repositioned himself. GR Hawk, he does not want to stay in this one.
No, he's backing away. All the huge potential are actually backing away. Very safe and clever play coming out from them. Having those 3 vehicles, getting out of there and looking to come back as a 4-man team. Because Alrain was a little bit further ahead, I believe, in a compound. But ELGIGANTEN are possibly going to breach it. They're going to clash together against each other. Ariane's thrown down. He actually does get spotted out by ghostar. And the rest of ELGIGANTEN are popping off shots towards huge potential.
And these are the kills they needed as well, right? Yep. This is exactly what ELGIGANTEN wanted. Alrain gets stolen away by Wookie.
No.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah, hate to see it.
Wow. And now remember, they ran away, so huge potential. Ran away from Tempest, straight into another problem being ELGIGANTEN, who lit him up, knocked him down, and then Tempest said, wait a second, we forced him away first. Don't you even try it. And there was some distance on that shot as well. Stolen, but stolen well. I'm completely against stealing. You shouldn't do it, kids, but when it comes to PUBG, if you get you an extra point, and if you can push ELGIGANTEN further downhill and keep you in the top 8, why not? It's acceptable stealing. I had to explain the whole situation.
Yeah, exactly.
No one's clipping this and saying, Banks said that I can steal. And then they get arrested and I'm the one getting in trouble. No, don't do this to me, kids. It's not happening. I'm too old to go to prison.
It's like when people blame Eminem for being a bad influence. James, you are a bad influence on people. Nah, not all. It's true, though. When you're able to take away those points and when you're able to of course, get that kill, even though you haven't got the knockdown, it is getting that work done. But now Jebla's the Red Foxes going once again into ELGIGANTEN. But, okay, I was going to say, it didn't seem like all of ELGIGANTEN were popping shots off towards Jevles, but going over, and that's going to be point for ghostar. They're probably thinking, nobody's stealing that kill from us this time.
Yeah, they were quick on that one, not letting it go at all. And ghostar's also going to see KofES. They're taking the single shots. You can see it tapping away at him, trying to make it work. There's some distance on these shots coming in. And obviously, he is going at breakneck speed here, Mr. KofES. So he will escape for now. But ELGIG, 1 point to start things off. We're still 16 teams alive, 53 players up, and now Tempest are firing at them from afar once again. Tempest, they're just on the edge of Stalber. They're off towards the west of it, and they are taking long-distance fights, and they're playing a long-range game, so they maybe don't burn themselves out too early on in these fights.
Well, because they have Clib and Wookie Bookie, who are both pretty damn fantastic with these long-range shots, with these long-range accuracy placed positioning shots, and they're making it work and making it count. Plus, because it's high ground and there's nearly always a huge chance that nobody's going to be coming in from the east side. Again, they don't have to worry about anybody behind them. They just look down below, pop shots off, and as we've already seen, steal a couple of kills in the meantime. But Airstation Mike, one member was taken down earlier on, so they're a 3-man strong team. The Phase 3 circle has gone into the land, so it's all from here where there's no water occupied. StarLadder still in there, but I'd say it'll shift down south.
4 Kings find themselves getting eliminated here. They're letting themselves die out to the play zone as well. So, like I said, we kind of expected that could be something that would happen. This early on, 4 Kings, they're not going to risk it. And what we did miss as well is that good old, my brain just completely flatlined on it. This is just brilliant. Definitely dying off now. Clib hit that headshot. Well, yeah, he hit the headshot onto ELGIG. Again, another long-range shot. Why not? And actually, ELGIG have they've done a full northern rotation, turned away. They're getting the hell out of there.
Wow, they're going right around the coastline through StarLadder, avoiding huge potential, and they'll want to just play a bit of a safer position, maybe even head down towards the southwest side. But at this point, it's definitely still a bit risky, right? Because everybody's found a position in some way, shape, or form, because that circle shifted away from the water. Therefore, all the teams that had come in from the south are pretty much there. And then, of course, center of the circle is occupied by the rest of these teams. It's only ELGIGANTEN, Tempest, and Red Foxes who are outside the circle.
No, I wouldn't say the aggression slowed down, but we've not seen it be as fast-paced as yesterday. So maybe teams being cautious, given it is the last game here. Northern Lights, a team that we don't think has to be cautious. They're currently sat in second place. But it's just been getting worse and worse for them day after day, right? They keep going out early. They keep struggling to do things. And I really hope that when you do make it into the next set, you've got something completely different to show us or something new. Because if this continues, Group A are going to be laughing. You'll be like, okay, that's another team we can just not be worried about.
Well, that's something, of course, we'll get into kind of next week when we do decide these 8 teams of you know.
Oh, honey, long range again.
Wow.
Stopping you in your tracks there, Cormac. But that's what happened to Greg as well. He didn't have a chance.
When it's Tempest, I'll shut the hell up for any of these shots, to be honest.
Standing trying to wrap his way around the side. Obviously, we can see it with X-Ray on. They're going to finish off Greg, no problem. But again, for Unique, they were semi-close, but they just didn't want to challenge this. Are they providing cover fire? No. No one even took a shot, Hanny. Then he could just walk up and blast him down. The rest of Tempest going to take additional shots now. They spotted out some others of the Unique players. Not a lot of cover to be had here. There's a compound further away, but Unique wouldn't engage with them if Tempest go into that compound. Unique have got the high ground. They've also got a lot of coverage from the trees.
And Unique also one of those teams that are in 13th place, and they need a lot of points today, but they're also in a position where they kind of have nothing to lose. I felt that response was very slow from them. You talked about kind of the cover fire. There's no real kind of activation from them in terms of saying, hey, look, you know, I'm just knocked down. I see where they're coming from.
O'Connell. He's hitting them shots on the ghostar. He can't find him being knocked down. Does eventually happen. The tap comes in. Can ghostar get himself into some cover? O'Connell, he's looking out for the other ELGIG members, but they're going to be picking ghostar apart regardless. And this is exactly what ELGIGANTEN didn't want. They just rotated round to avoid this happening. They wanted to stay away from Tempest. And now they've just found themselves in another situation that is causing them a lot of problems. They've got PG-18, no tag team, and also BetterLuckNxTime on the hill, all eyeing them up.
3 members of their team got knocked down. within a matter of seconds by 3 separate teams, no doubt, as well. So it all kicked off as we did see. Gibbet was also knocked down. O'Connell is taken out. So we're seeing a lot of action. PG-18 going to be the winner so far, at least in this shooting range area. Only Nailup is up for no tag team, if I'm not mistaken. No, sorry, Yannick is actually a little bit further away. So two members there.
And Red Foxes just went down at the hands of Tempest. Not what they would have wanted to see at all there. And again, sorry, I'll say Tempest. That was Airstation Mike. Tempest just popped up doing more damage elsewhere across the map. So Tempest active and everything. But Airstation Mike will take a team wipe and eliminate the Red Foxes out of this one for now. It's very interesting because all the teams down in the south, they've got a lot of space, but no one's moving forward. If you're looking at the map stream, anyone, you can see there's about 40, 50% nearly of the circle down towards the south, which has no one other than Unique in. And you've got ASM on the side, Tempest on the side, BetterLuckNxTime on the side, but none of them have the information to push in just yet.
As we're seeing, Hugstar kicking things off against Brute Force. ghostar has finally been taken out. That is only leaving KnorkiS up. As we said, from the side of ELGIGANTEN, what can he do as this one-man army? Nailip gets returned fire, say, hey, look, you do work onto my team. I'm going to take you down. But nope, it's going to be
stolen away again. Elgig, man, you really got to go in for these flushes, lads, because if you didn't realise, you've got to get some points on the board, and that's what MJ-Esports, they would have wanted to get points on the board. I think they're down in like 14th or 15th place at the moment, but they will not be having a good time because they're the next team out of it here.
And they've been taken out by Jokers, the team that are in 7th place, needing all of the points that they can get. As Hawk taken out by Team Moops. Team Moops then got a second knockdown onto AmerouuS, so these teams are getting closer together. It is phase 4. We're getting closer towards phase 5 as well, so these teams pinched very closely together, especially in this north side of this map.
Maken having a look around now, taking a few shots. Got to be careful on his own, though. His teammate's down. If he goes down, it's game over for Brute Force. The boom helps him out, though. Hawkeye gets headshotted, and that means Jokers are going to try and engage in this as well. This could be exactly what Brute Force needs to get the res up onto AmerouuS. Another smoke's going to be laid down, and this will provide the cover he needs. He's going to wait to go out, and he wants to see if maybe any of the Moops players try to push him further. But if he can try and get the kill, he doesn't have a nade, but he wants to try and get this other kill in there, because he knows he can do some good damage if possible.
Seems like he's moving towards to get that revive. Maken is now moving forward. Actually, no, he's going in between the smoke to try and get the shots on. But against 3 of Team Moops, that's a tough play to really work out. And now he popped a couple of shots off, scoped out, made sure it was all okay. Team Moops staying generally quite passive in this moment. And he's able to get the revive. You got to say, maybe Team Moops could have been more aggressive. They could have pushed forward. They had that man advantage, but because Jokers was there in the distance, they thought, look, maybe we're just better off staying where we are.
Now you can see the map stream at the moment on your screens, and we spoke just a bit ago about the teams down in the south. They now have a long road ahead of them. Temp have actually managed to overtake on the western side. They were previously on the east. Now they've gone all the way around Unique, not engaging in the fight. Unique only with 3 players left up in it. And then we've got BetterLuckNxTime, who'll be working their way in, who's likely to meet with Tempest in an up-and-coming battle. Maybe in just a couple of minutes. Already Wookie actually firing some shots off towards them.
They're paying the price for not being aggressive enough because AmerouuS got revived up and he's got the return fire. So this was Team Moops maybe making a bit of a mistake. They thought they were playing it a bit safer, but with phase 5, with the circle closing in, Double's just going to try and go down, throws himself down to try and connect the shots off on. He's not put out. AmerouuS gets taken out and Brute Force are eliminated in 13th place, but Double will get knocked down in the process. Airstation Mike ready to pick up the pieces.
Yeah, they're going to jump on that anytime they can. The same as the boom as he takes a few long-range shots. It was a land the headshot as well. Keen to see if he can find another one in it, but deep. Northern Lights, they lost a player early on. We said things weren't going out for him. Finally, they're able to reply. They get some fire onto fake. And Airstation Mike didn't have an answer. Look how far away they were.
And they're not in the circle. So this is the push to try and get in there. So the smoke grenades are going to throw out, try and create that wall of protection so they can get in there. But the second they get in there, they've also got to realize, well, how do we survive against this three-man Northern Lights team? Because we are at a disadvantage. They're going to get into the vehicle. They're going to use those smokes as a bit of a distraction and protection and get in there. But Team Oops get eliminated. Rigiberto taken down to the play zone. At least they won't give a point over to anybody else.
And Perfectix, Northern Lights, they are on this. They know exactly where the Airstation Mike boys are. They've blown up their cars, and they will not let them escape out of here. And I'm a bit concerned now for Airstation Mike, because I think they used a lot of smokes just to push forward. So they may be in the circle now, but they need to have some better utility to get themselves away from this, because Northern Lights are just staring at them in the face. And once again, Tempest is on it. Wookie Bookie straight in with the flushes. They're just adding more and more points to their total, but they've still got to deal with the rest of BetterLuckNxTime now.
And then you've also got Team Unique down from the center. Magento taking off. The grenade connects on to two members of Tempest. And then Hjord does get knocked down. So what looked so good for Tempest in this game has been turned around due to one grenade.
And Clib is pinned down. He's ducking and diving, trying to run between the trees. He doesn't want to stand in to finish him off. He knows he's going to have to try and play the solo game from here, because his teammates, they are nowhere to be seen. They're all just hoping they're going to die out to the play zone so they don't give away extra kill points.
And we did see the phase 6 circle, which is going to start closing in the next 30 seconds to shift up north. That's going to be Hjortani, Wookie Bookie confirmed and stolen by Team Unique. Every single point that's going to count for them, and it's going to take it away from BetterLuckNxTime.
So interesting. Both the teams, they're fighting with Tempest in the middle. Clib still the only one that survived. Wasn't able to land the headshots this time around, but he did manage to survive, and that's the key thing. But it's how he operates from here, because he's right on the edge of the circle. He's got a long way to go. He's got further than any of the other teams here now, and he needs to be kind of a stealthy way of doing it to ensure that he doesn't have to take any fights that he doesn't want to if he wants to stay within this and get back into the top 8.
Yep. And we did see another member of Airstation Mike knocked down. That was Hugstar. Tempest get eliminated in 11th place. Faith from BetterLuckNxTime confirming it. Going, you're not going any further in this game. Airstation Mike get eliminated in 10th place. Unique, take this chance, take this opportunity with the teams eliminated around them to get in those vehicles and try and make their way into the circle as Faith kicks off, tries to fire those shots, and we see Dez out on his own, going right ahead to the center circle, but taken down to very low health.
ELGIGANTEN have been fighting, it seems like, for this entire game. Everywhere we look, everywhere we turn, they're taking additional shots, and they've only been able to get one kill. They've had multiple knocks in, but now KnorkiS is all alone. He's had some heroics before, he's done good work, but this could just be far too much for him. He is, though, in the top 8, so that's at least an additional 1 point. So for him now, it's just anything he can do to hold on, but all of PG-18 are looking for him, and we can see it here.
And 5 out of 6 teams.
KnorkiS! He pushes through the smoke. I don't think you still expect him to be waiting there that whole time, but why would they not? They knew exactly where you were, and they were just going to wait for you to bleed out to the zone or die out to the zone, potentially.
Damn, boy. And 4 out of 6 teams that are fighting in this 10-point distance between 6th and 12th are still in the game. Istanbul Wildcats playing it very safe on the edge of the circle. PG-18 have looked strong in this game so far. And, of course, Red Foxes. Actually, no, sorry. Red Foxes are actually out. My apologies. But Jokers, they have the only compound inside the circle, also looking to rack up those points to make it further in the leaderboard.
Faultlessly goes down. BetterLuckNxTime. Going to be sitting in the blue for now. Fate and Arctic's the only 2 that remain. They need to push into the circle, but they're not far away. Sep looking out for anyone he can find. 3 kills already for Jokers, and they're in a good spot. And they've got some nice weaponry to deal with. He's stacked up on meds, and he has 5 smokes to rock it with.
Because Jokers have stayed relatively out of trouble. They've positioned themselves for the circles. It's gone their way, no doubt, but they've still played the long game. They're doing what the likes of ELGIGANTEN should have been looking to do. And it's paying off for them as we're down to 17, 16 players. And with all that utility, all of that protection that they have and the arsenal, it's going to pay off down the line, I reckon.
Nice job by Fate. Gets the confirm onto Apocalypse. Lazar, though, still prone. Snaking it up. Did they split? They must have seen it. Fate. No way. Istanbul Wildcats. They'll be going down, but that was a very scary trade. At any point, Arctic could have been finished off there. Luckily, his teammate was close by.
And that's good, though, right? Because you go in, you kind of look for that engagement as a 2-man team. It means that when you don't spot him out and you get that one knockdown, your teammate, your ally, is there to
Oh, Perfectix, no. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
They ran into the wall, and they're going to be sprayed down by jokers. Daboom, he's able to land headshots, and he's looking for more. He managed to get one knock in, but they could do with getting the grenades out. Spiro in a bit of trouble. The Deep might be able to bring him back up, but what will jokers do from here? They need to make sure they apply his pressure, but Dez out. He's sneaking around the corner. He's going to go in for the finish off straight away. Knocks down the Deep. Only Perfectix left to find. Perfectix, how are you going to play this? Be careful, Dez out, though, because if you get greedy, he's going to take you down, and that's exactly what happened. Not what they would have wanted, but he's not done just yet. Dez out, still trying to fight back. Perfectix, very low health. He doesn't have a chance, but he's taking lots of damage from the side. Northern Lights finally go down, but Dez out. He's not out of it yet, and jokers continue to land shots on him.
Wow, this was jokers just picking up those pieces, but you gotta give credit where credit is due to Team Unique. They knew they were in a bit of a pinch, but they got the kills, they got those points. We did see BetterLuckNxTime being taken out in 6th place just before Northern Lights, and we're now down to 3 teams. No tag team, PG-18, no tag team get eliminated. Now it's dies against the world. That world being jokers. It is gonna be it's going to be 3 against 2. So PG-18 have the advantage, but they are outside circle, and they do not have any kind of compound protection.
Now, the thing is, it doesn't matter they're outside the circle at the moment, because what they're doing is actually spreading. So what they're taking is circle control. They know jokers are stuck in a compound, so they have to move out. If they can go from all different angles, they can look at it from multiple sides, and that'll make jokers' job very hard here. Already 9 kills up at the moment for PG-18, and it's 3 apiece. Deez now needs to be on his A game, because this is the man that's been able to turn games around for PG-18, and they need this desperately. They're looking for this top 8 position, and that's exactly what you want to see. Recrent landing a headshot, putting the pressure onto the boom, and this is not good for them as well, because yes, the circle's going to move in a few seconds, and they cannot be wasting meds like this. They need to play the long game here, and just the positioning that PG-18 has, I think jokers know that no matter where they look, no matter where they turn, they are going to be fired at. So they need to make a choice, go through that, and try and battle against one together. But again, Recrent takes another shot, 44 bits of damage done. He is buying so much time at the moment to force jokers into a really awkward position.
It's so tough for jokers. You could say they could look to split up, but the second they move, the second they breathe, they're being looked at by PG-18, and it's so tough for them. They can look to throw out a couple of smokes. We talked about how quiet jokers have been, so they have all that utility. Now is the time to make use of it.
What jokers need to do here is make a decision and make it fast. If they can potentially get a knock onto any of the PG-18 players, that will be what they need to do. But none of them need to risk it too much. They can keep taking pop shots, but they're not going to be able to get the finish off just because of how much cover that PG-18 is utilizing. Deez, he's repositioned himself once again, and he's checking all of those windows.
Exactly. He's got the angles. They've got jokers pinched now. Of course, we're going to have the final phase, the final circle.
And it's coming in.
Yeah.
Now jokers have to make the move where they're going to go. The boom jumps out the window. The set going to go out the front door. Both of them not being shot at just yet. A few smokes have been deployed. Recrent, he's allowing more smokes to go down, and he's using the smokes as his cover now. He said, okay, there's no trees here, and I want to get a bit closer. But is he aware that jokers have come round? Deez is on the side there, and they can literally attack from all angles. The boom starts off strong, though, and this could be the great chance. But Deez, he's there ready and waiting, set all on his own. No chance in it for him. Now he's completely outnumbered. Deez and the Wanderer trying to get the job done, but the Wanderer in the smoke gets taken out. Now it's a 1v1. The set can win this. Deez, you have to step up. You have to bring your absolute A game. He's going for the revive. I respect it, but this is so scary. This is so dangerous. If the set sees him, it's going to be game over, and it means jokers can take this game. But he's taking so long. He's running all the way around. Now he's in a 2v1. Set, your window of opportunity has disappeared. He's looking for it. He's spraying onto Deez. He's doing so much damage, but they know they need to get the health off on the other player. Wanderer trying to hide in the smoke. He doesn't want to give any points away. And Deez is still landing shots. Set about to push through the smoke, but he's not going to make it. Winner, winner, chicken dinner, and it's going to PG-18 in game 1.
You talked about initially Recurrent throwing out those smokes as protection. That's what caused
that allowed
to get that revive. But you got to give credit to jokers.
Yeah,
they got
really
out of the
good.
compounds. You could say maybe PG-18 gave them too much space, but at the end of the day, they had the man advantage, and it paid off.
Well, the thing is, it was just at the time that PG-18 wanted to push forward that jokers decided to move, and it was a way that actually benefited jokers at the same time as benefiting PG-18. Like, no one lost in that situation, but the really scary part was obviously the fact that Set was able to do so much there. Had he wanted to push through the smoke, he would have caught them reviving. Obviously, it's a scary, you have to make a split decision, right? So there's no wrong or right mode in that, but well, the right is obviously getting the win, but you have to make a 50-50 decision, right? There's no like, oh, if I push through that smoke, I'm definitely going to get him. He played it as good as he can, full respect to Jokers, and the Boom ended it on 6 kills all on his own. Wow. Damn.
What a game for Jokers. What a game for PG18. Both of those teams looking to secure that top 8 and get into the final stages of Contenders Phase 3. This is only game 1 of 4 games today, over and done with. So there's still, of course, a lot of action to come. A lot of positions can potentially move around between these teams. Got to give initial credit to ELGIGANTEN. They looked kind of quite strong. They were sticking together. But I think the mistake they made was when they rotated from the northeast side to the northwest side in the shooting range. And they just got pinched by 3 teams, and it just went completely downhill from there.
And ELGIGANTEN, we said how much they needed. They got 1 kill in 8th place, so 2 points total for those guys. And it's not the start they would have wanted here today, but for PG18, this is going to put them within top 8. They've just had a boost of 21 points here. And a lot of the other teams, they weren't really close in terms of that. They may be close in placement points, but not when it comes to actually getting the kills on the board there.
Well, probably the kind of outside of ELGIGANTEN, kind of the biggest kind of, not loser, but would have been Red Foxes, because they went out relatively early.
Yeah.
I think they only got maybe a couple of points from kills. Obviously, we'll find out. And with the points so close, even no tag team, like we didn't really talk about them because they kept fairly quiet, but they were in the final 3 teams. So they got a couple of extra points, and I think they got 3 or 4 kill points. So a good game for them coming into the final 4 games.
Yeah, no tag team got 3 kills and 3 third place, so a decent standing for them overall. It'll be not a bad split. It's going to be a nice and interesting standings when it comes to it. But this was the part where all the craziness went down. Northern Lights completely pinned down by Jokers who were looking for additional kills. Yep. Unique then goes in for it, picks up the kills, but then finds themselves in the same spot that Northern Lights are in. It's like, you just literally traded places, boys. No one wins in this other than Jokers. Because Jokers were going to either get Northern Lights or get you, and you waited and took their kills away. So they said, well, you're our next firing practice.
Like I said, Unique kind of have nothing to lose. So they were like, hey, look, Wooders going in hard, going in strong. But this was the results from the first game. Yeah, Red Foxes, they didn't even get any kill points. So 0 points on the board.
I thought the same as you, though. They might have got kills because you often see that from Red Fox, right? It sounds unfamiliar to say, oh, Red Fox got 0 points. It's not something we're used to be saying here. Huge potential. Got 1 Elgi, like we said, with 2. MOOPHEUS just getting kill points, same as what we had here for Brute Force as well. I feel sorry for Brute Force there because that's such a good position early on. And it's just the way they took the challenges. It just didn't work out. And they just weren't winning the individual duels there. And that's not down to them maybe rotating badly or not planning ahead well enough. It was just they were outgunned. They were outmanned.
And here's the thing. You go 4 points. That's not the worst thing in the world. But it's the fact that every single other team that are fighting for that top 8 spot ahead of them, they did better.
So here we have it. Jokers up at 12, 21 points of PG18. Team Unique with 10. No tag team. It's not actually bad. 8 points. They can take that, all things considered, because they got the placement points with it. So that worked out better than I expected for them. BetterLuckNxTime going to have 8 as well. Northern Lights and Airstation, Mike, of course they're going to get points. Of course. You just expect it at this point. And Tempers. So Tempers, they end up finishing in 11th and they still got 4 points. And they still finish within the top 8 in total. Typical. Just getting used to it by now, aren't they?
Yeah, I know. But we see the damage leader. The Boom from Jokers, 1,145 damage, followed by Fate. I think that's one of the highest, 3 teams with over 900 points each. I don't think I've even seen that even in Group A in one game.
And this is really impressive, right? To have 3 players doing that much damage on their own. The Boom, Fate, and Set 17. And even they're not just picking up all the kills. We'll see that in just a second.
Yeah.
But they were doing the damage they needed for their team, and that's kind of where Jokers was so active early on, which enabled to get them that 2nd place. But overall, he did all that damage, and they only got 6 kills throughout that game. And how many? We saw it from the beginning. It was kill stealing all over the place. There is obviously something that's changed in the last 2 days. So yesterday was super aggressive, and today was like, if someone's down and you ain't flushing them in a few seconds, that's mine. Because they're hungry, they're looking, they're out everywhere for it. So the Boom with 6 kills, Fate with 5. That actually works out really well considering the damage those 2 did. And then who was the last one that we just saw on there? It was
Set.
That was it, Set. So Set was doing damage, but maybe the kills were being taken off elsewhere.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I think part of that came down to even just the circle and the fact that it was so far north, and we just had teams clumping together so early in the center of it. But either way, PG18 Jokers head to head 1,400 damage for PG-18, 2,258 for Jokers, but with only 6 kills. That return isn't that good.
Mad damage being done, and even that Recruit with what damage he was able to do to turn it into knocks and kills, he did pretty well in comparison, right? But the headshot kills are the things that mean the most.
True.
The Boom able to get them, that's just extra one-shot capability in there, right? Doing the additional high damage when it comes to getting these kills, and also being the marksman when it comes to actually being the team member to get the job done at the end, because you can try and spray them down. How many times have we seen teams try to tap them, then get shot from elsewhere, and because they haven't actually hit those key shots, haven't hit the headshots, they won't get the finish off in time. They'll leave on like low health and the flush doesn't actually come in.
Oh man, it's crazy. So many of these teams really just clawing and trying to get as many points as they can, and it's great to see that kind of passion and that drive come through even in the final games. I'm
loving the fact that we're doing this at the moment, because started off a bit slow on the first opening 2 games. Yesterday was just insane, and today it's all about the kill stealing so far. Miramar's coming up next, and it's 2 games of Miramar. So who will be top of that when it comes down to it? We'll be finding out very shortly. But first of all, as always, we're going to a break. We'll see you guys soon.